Uh, in terms of what I would say to my grandchildren about life and about me, first I'd say to them that number one, I have hopefully another 25 or 30 years of my life that I can spend much more quality time with each of them, particularly uh, Kristen, Jen, and Marion. I regret the limited amount of time I've spent with them, but I think I've had an impact on their life. I think to have a grandfather that they look up to, that has achieved and has been able to be an example of what you can do coming out of the environment I came out of and the financial, economic circumstances I have. I the number one thing I would like to depart with them is, as my dad told me, there's absolutely nothing in the world you cannot accomplish if you're persistent and put your mind to it. I'd like to spend personal time with my grandkids to give them first-hand, on-hand examples of what it took for me to come up in a family of 8 kids, work my way through high school, work my way through college, work my way through grad school, and continue working to accomplish those dreams that I had. And I think spending more time with grandchildren, actually giving them one-on-one attention, saying to them that the person that's going to get them to the top is the person in the mirror. I, the one thing I want the generation behind me and generations to come in my family to understand, if it's up to them, if it's up to me, it's going to be, it's up to me. Rather than say what grandpa didn't do, or what mama didn't do, cousins didn't do, brothers and sisters, I want to give them that philosophy that Cuttie Bacon Jr. gave me, that if I was going to achieve anything in life, the number one person was going to be me. I also want them to know that they have grandpa here to support them in doing anything that's constructive, that makes sense, that's about improving their life and improving the lives of the children and their offsprings. Uh, I also want to give them 3 things early in life to adopt. I didn't learn them until late in life. The number one thing I want to teach them is don't take anything personal. It is not about you. I didn't learn until I was 50 years old. There wasn't none of my business what people said or thought about me. Once I think you can develop a practice of it ain't none of my business what people say or think about me, and ain't nothing personal. Even if your best friend comes back and tells you your best buddy told you that you're an idiot, that is his estimation of your intelligence and your intellect. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Even if you are an idiot, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. You are whatever you decide you are, and don't let anybody tamper with that. The second most important lesson, and all these lessons are my lessons, not things I thought up or things that I wrote. I learned these from reading, and these come from the 4 agreements. The second most important thing I want them to know is not to assume anything. Never assume anything. Because when you assume, you begin to build a picture, your own fake reality, and it can become a serious reality for you. So if you go through life not assuming anything, you will be a much healthier person. Of course, I do want to depart to them as I always have. Number one thing is to be honest. Secondly is to be kind and to love. And I want to spend the next 25 or 30 years with each of my grandkids having quality time, discussing matters like this with them, discussing how they're going to look in the mirror and hold themselves responsible for whoever they decide they're going to be, and that the sky is the limit, and to always think big. That it takes the same amount of energy to have a big dream as a little dream. I remember as a 35-year-old, one of my buddies asked me why I was dreaming of owning a Rolls Royce. And I asked him what kind of car he was dreaming. He said he was dreaming of getting a new Chevy. And somebody had told me it takes the same amount of energy to dream and plan to get a new Chevy as it does to dream and plan to get a new Rolls Royce. And that if you set your goal in your mind and your work and your education on big things, using the Rolls Royce as an example of the biggest, most expensive car you can buy, you can accomplish that the same as you would accomplish a Chevy. And I always said to them, mind you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a little dream. But don't waste your energy on little dreams, because my idea also of big dreams and big plans and goals is, if you miss your goal and you're shooting for a Rolls Royce, you can be like my friend, you can end up with a Mercedes. And so the the amount of energy and so I said big dreams and with those big dreams, because dreams change every night. When you have big dreams, transfer them to goals. Write them down. It's a dream. If you walk around talking about your goal is to accomplish something and you haven't wrote it down, it's a dream. And they change every night on you, because every time you dream, something else comes. But write them down, hold yourself accountable for them, and set goals for yourself.